And your expectation level for Sam Darnold is what, John? What do you got for me here, man?
Yeah, very high, very high. You can see the progress, as you stated, getting with the group and, Kyle and those guys in San Francisco, and then where Kevin and his group, took it last year. He just keeps making really cool progress every year. And, to have, a system, established system in place that he's played in and comfortable with is a big deal. And so, great human, great competitor. He's been a great leader so far. I know you guys know him well, but excited to get him in the building as well as bringing Drew Lock back. Drew's been an important part of our process as well here in the last several years, and it was part of a big trade we did with Denver several years ago, and just a person is a great personality and competitor to get back in that room as well with Jalen too.
There's a reason why the word manager is in your title, John Schneider, because I imagine you got to manage things, not just the roster. You draft Jalen Milroe. The phrase I heard about him in the draft, John, from a bunch of evaluators was lottery ticket. That if you hit with this guy, you are going to hit the jackpot with him. And that he's going to need some time. You're going to have to coach him up. That makes sense, obviously, with a lot of rookie quarterbacks. But in terms of a ceiling, highest ceiling in the draft for a quarterback, that's all I heard. I wonder what your evaluation of Jalen is, John.
Yeah, obviously high ceiling. And, all these guys that come in, we had last year's class was kind of a unicorn, really. But all these guys coming in, it takes a minute now. It takes a lot of time for these guys to develop and, get those pro reps and several different coordinators. I think like 3 or 4 coordinators in college and several position coaches. So again, getting him in a system where, he can be comfortable and the staff's going to try to, do some unique things with him, the offensive staff. And so, yeah, it's exciting. When you're watching him, there's a lot of, look, I was blessed to be around Brett Favre at a very young age, and there was a lot of wow and there was a lot of whoa, the throws.
I love it.
And so, he's got like some of those wows and those woes, but then also when he takes off, scoring from, 50, 60, 70 yards and running 22 miles an hour with the ball in his hand too. So he's a special young man. He's been great so far. Everybody raved about the work ethic and the personality. And I don't know if you guys have interviewed him or not, but he's very engaged,
loved him.
Very energetic.
John, when he came on at the end of the season in Alabama, he had me at hello. Loved him. Loved talking to him. Loved everything about him. Totally understand why you'd want to have him as part of your franchise. No doubt about that. 100%. But another part of manager, though, is managing, feelings, emotions, whatever. Did you have to give Darnold a heads up or what your plan is for Milroe? I mean, you just signed Sam there. So
Coach. So Mike McDonald, gave Sam a heads up and was kind of, within that period, it was coming down the pike like, hey, this isn't about you. This is about acquiring an impact player, in our opinion. Where does the quarterback stuff go? We don't know how fast. And then, so Mike talked to Sam. I was able to communicate with Drew. And obviously we were communicating with Sam Howell all throughout the weekend as well. Sam Howell's a special person too.
Yeah, sure. Now he's on the Vikings as well. So it's just a Milroe package. My last question for you there. That's what everyone's wondering. Do we see a Milroe package, John? Do we see it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun to watch, to see how it plays out. Coach Kubiak last year, those guys, had Taysom down there. And one of the really attractive things to know that Mike obviously felt this way too, Mike McDonald, was the way these guys utilized all the talent they had there, the variety of talent they had down in New Orleans last year. And they really got decimated on their offensive line with injuries, but they did a really nice job of complementing and still being able to run the ball and move the ball the first several games. I think they were scoring, 40 plus points, maybe the first 2 or 3. So it's going to be really fun to see, how this fits in. Challenging, sure, but I think it's going to be fun to see.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.